So this afternoon we have a 2015 Ford Focus. It was towed here because the Serpentine belt apparently blew off of it. And I'm having a quick look at it here. It started and it ran and come in the shop. I see the tensioner pulley here is melted. That's weird. So it's going to need that for sure. And we'll have to check these pulleys to see the water pump seems smooth. Well, we're going to raise it up on the hoist and have a look from underneath. I don't see any signs of the Serpentine belt, so maybe it's laying on the belly pan. So once you remove that belly pan, you can see up in here, you can see the AC compressor has a small stretch belt by the looks of it. It looks okay. The alternator pulley spins nice and free. So I'm not sure what happened. We're going to have a look at that tensioner, and maybe the tensioner bearing seized temporarily. Anyways, we're going to have to take this stretch belt off in order to get the other belt on. I don't see any sign of it anywhere. It's not in here. This has electric power steering, so the power steering must have been disabled because of the low voltage, because I noticed there was no power steering when I drove it in. Anyways, we'll take this bracket off here so we can get the stretch belt off the AC compressor. So there's the belt tensioner, and the spring in it feels good. This bearing feels pretty smooth, yet the pulley you can see is all melted. So that obviously stopped spinning and the belt was spinning on the surface. So unless this bearing, but I can't understand why this bearing would be nice and smooth now. Obviously it needs this, but I'm pretty sure that this tensioner is okay. Got good spring on it. Oh well, we'll see if we can order up the tensioner pulley by itself. Hopefully this is serviceable. So managed to source the entire belt tensioner assembly. Pulley comes off, but can't buy it, not that I could find. There's the belt tensioner from a local parts store, and here is a belt that I was able to get to. 404 or 512 is apparently the right number. Boy, that's not a very big belt, mind you. It only drives the water pump and the alternator. That's it. So we'll put the tensioner on, and I'll show you how I put that stretch belt, how I took it off and how I put it on. So this is the routing diagram here for the main belt. So I can see how it goes over the tensioner around the back of the water pump. So I'm going to put that in now. So to access this belt, you have to remove this shield, which is held on with 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. For some reason this bolt won't come out. It's corroded in there. But nevertheless, then that leaves one last bolt holding the compressor up right here. So if you loosen that bolt, then the compressor will tip this way. As you can see, I've got the belt back on. Just be careful not to cross thread this bolt as you're putting it back in, and tighten it up by hand. So there's both belts reinstalled. This one is a stretch belt obviously, and this one is on the tensioner. Anyways, we're going to start it up, and I had the battery charger on it, trickle charger all night, so we're going to start it up and run it and clear all codes out of all computers. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of low voltage codes because it was running without the alternator. Okay, so we're going to do a network code scan on this thing and see what kind of codes it's got in it. You can also, there's no warning lights on now, but I'm sure there's some fault codes related to this problem. Invalid data received, battery voltage below threshold, TPMS codes, power steering. That's why the power steering wasn't working. So as you can see, there's a number of codes related to low voltage. So we're going to clear them all out. I'm going to clear out all the codes from all the controllers. Ford wants to do that, key on, engine off now. So I noticed that since about 2012, 11 or 12. It's fairly quick. "13 controllers."